today's topic, we're going to focus on the malnutrition. So, what is malnutrition? Malnutrition is the general terms, refers to the problem faced by people who have improper, meaning not proper, not balanced diet over a period of time. So class, when we say malnutrition, it is not only referring to a person who is thin, but these are the following examples that we can say a person is malnourished. So we have, for example, this one, a person is too short for his age. So that is what we call stunting. Another, a person too thin for his height. So make sure your BMI is correct, or we have this what we call balance with your age and with your height. Next, obesity. So it's a person who's overweight. Okay, so this one, you can consider yourself not just only if you are thin as malnourished, but also if you are obese or too thin for your height. What causes malnutrition? The improper diet or not balanced diet could be due to lack of nutrients. Okay, lack of nutrients meaning you're eating, for example, junk foods. Excess of nutrients meaning too much of carbo, too much of proteins. That is what we call excess of nutrients. Next, intake of nutrients in wrong proportions. For example, too much carbo, less proteins, or too much fatty foods, something like that. So it may lead into imbalanced diet. It may also cause by undereating, overeating, or bad eating habits, like this. What do you think are the effects of deficiency in nutrients? When we say deficiency, it means there is not enough nutrients. We have this what we call a deficiency of proteins, or not enough proteins in your body. So you may acquire this what we call kwashiorkor. Okay, so children may have edema. Edema means bursting or swelling of body parts. For example, swelling of your stomach. It is due to the increase of intestinal fluid. Okay, the water or the fluid in your intestines are increasing, or too much water. Okay, water content, because there is no enough proteins in the blood to retain the water. Children may have flaky skin, thin muscles, and thin hair. Again, edema meaning swelling of any parts of your body. So this is an example of kwashiorkor. If a person or a children who is lack of protein, so we have this swelling of the stomach due to what we call increasing of the intestinal fluid. Okay, another term is edema. Another effect for the deficiency of proteins is called marasmus. So what is marasmus? It is extreme undernourishment involving severe lack of protein and energy-providing nutrients. The symptoms of marasmus include thinness, poor muscle development, so that the bones show through the skin. So the next slide is an example of a marasmus. So this is the effect of the severe deficiency of protein. So this is what we call marasmus. Okay, so look at this child. Lack of vitamin C. If you are lack of vitamin C, you may experience scurvy. Scurvy means it causes the gums to bleed. Okay, so if you're experiencing bleeding of your gums, meaning you are lack of vitamin C, make sure you're going to take vitamin C or eat foods that are rich in vitamin C, like mango. Lack of vitamin D, calcium, and phosphorus may cause rickets. The deficiency or lack in vitamin D will affect the absorption or taking in of calcium and phosphorus from the gut or your intestinal organs. And the bones are deformed like this. deformed bones, and growth is impeded or delayed growth. So this is the effect if you are lack of vitamin D, calcium, and phosphorus. We call it rickets, like this one. Okay, deformed bones. What if you are lack of calcium? So if you are lack of calcium, it may cause an osteoporosis, especially to the old ones. So lack of calcium intake increases risk. It may reduce bone minerals and increases bone fragility, or your bones becomes weak, especially to the older. Okay, so this is the normal bones, and this is the bone with osteoporosis. So this is the effect. This is the normal uh, person, or if you don't have an osteoporosis, and this is what will happen to your bone. It's like bended. Your spinal cord is bended if you are having this osteoporosis. So again, make sure you drink your milk, because if you want to make your bones strong and healthy. Next is we have deficiency of roughage may cause constipation. Okay, constipation meaning difficulty of defecation. Okay, so have you ever tried this one? No matter how hard you try, you are sweating and you have all your force just to get rid of your waste products, but still it takes time because you experience constipation. Okay, what to do? Make sure you drink a plenty of water. Okay, to avoid deficiency of roughage or constipation. So if you are experiencing this, the feces will be stored in the colon for a longer period of time. So colon is part of your large intestine, this one. So the feces will be stored in the colon for a longer period of time, and toxics, those poisonous substances in your body that are supposed to remove together with the feces, would stay longer in the gut. This may cause colon cancer. So to avoid colon cancer, make sure you have to drink plenty of water, at least 8 glasses of water a day. Another, we have deficiency or lack of water may cause dehydration. Okay, you will be dehydrated if you are not drinking plenty of water. So consequently, osmoregulation would be affected. Osmoregulation, it is the one that controls the water and salt concentration of our body. So these are the things or the signs that you are dehydrated. Okay, we have dry mouth, swollen tongue, fatigue, meaning you are tired, palpitations, your heartbeat is so fast, dizziness, bad breath, and so on. So make sure you are not dehydrated. So please, water is very important in our body. So what will be the effects of excessive, meaning too much intake of nutrients? So before we've discussed about deficiency of taking nutrients. This time, we will discuss the effects of excessive or too much intake of nutrients in our body. Number one, we have carbohydrates or food that are rich in or too much sugar. For example, rice, fries, French fries, junk foods, soft drinks. Okay, so it may cause obesity. Obesity meaning your weight is not normal or not balanced with your height. Okay, so excess meaning too much carbohydrates are stored as fats. Okay, fats is not good, especially those unhealthy fats. It may lead to diabetes mellitus. Next is we have this what we call lipids or fats. So overconsumption of saturated fats, this kind of fats is not healthy, such as animal fats may increase the level of cholesterol in our blood. Class, our body needs cholesterol to make our cells healthy, but too much level of cholesterol can increase our risk of heart diseases. Look at this. It is going to block the passageway of our blood. Okay, so meaning do not eat food that is having this too much or high cholesterol. Okay, so before we have our review today, let me remind you that I prepared a short quiz and I attached it in your Google Class or in your Google Classroom. So kindly answer right after our discussion today. So, what is malnutrition? Malnutrition is the general terms, refers to the problem faced by people who have improper, meaning not proper, not balanced diet over a period of time. So class, when we say malnutrition, it is not only referring to a person who is thin, but these are the following examples that we can say a person is malnourished. So we have, for example, this one, a person is too short for his age. So that is what we call stunting. Another, a person too thin for his height. So make sure your BMI is correct, or we have this what we call balance with your age and with your height. Next, obesity. So it's a person who's overweight. Okay, so this one, you can consider yourself not just only if you are thin as malnourished, but also if you are obese or too thin for your height. So that's all for today. Thank you so much and have a nice day, everybody.